Yes, yes, yes. This is another day that we have to talk about sports. And today we are tackling one another again. So the fans here, what we do on this show is to allow fans who we now have the privilege of going to CBS and all others to be able to have their say. So here there is no officiating, no rules. You are just going to be able to say it the way you want to say it. So here we say every tackle starts with the fans. So the fans must have their say. So today we have uh, four men. I've been told to stop using gentlemen because these guys they've told me they are not going to be gentle today. So we have four distinct individuals that are going to be talking to us about the match that is coming today, and that game is the game between the Giants in the um, in the European League. Of course, maybe one day we're going to be talking about leagues from other countries, but today we're going to talk about the match between Bayern Munich or Bayern Munich and then PSG. In about 10, 15 years ago, PSG was not among the top teams, but they've been consistent over time and now they are competing. And yeah, we're going to just let my guys introduce themselves. So I go with this man first.
Okay, my name is Tadiwanashe Chikanda. I'm a Arsenal fan. I was born for Arsenal, and I would die for Arsenal.
Oh, nice, Tadiwa. All right, nice having you here today. Tadiwa is an Arsenal fan, like he said. So they have their bet in the final. So this face is known to you already. So let's have you.
Yes, this is a known face from the best side of London. I heard somebody say he's a born Arsenal fan. I'm a born Chelsea fan. My heart is blue. It has always been blue and it will always be blue. And if you want to see a Champions League trophy, I think you'd have to come to the Stamford Bridge to see one. So when people say the Arsenal fans, don't be phased. Yes, today I'm here in support of Paris Saint-Germain. And I think whoever that comes out on top would give the other side of London a tough bill for their money. So I'm happy to be here once again.
Okay, this guy seems to always be uh, on his own. He seems to always be on his own. So we're going to have another guy who is going to be talking for the club he loves, and here is
This is Jeffrey. So, growing up, I think I've not been working alone. I've been working in batches, I've been working in um, faith, and I've been working in love. So, I support Liverpool FC, and today I'll be here in favor of Bayern Munich. Yeah, red
okay.
support red.
Okay, so he has decided to go for the red supporting red. Where they say women support women, men support men. Now red is supporting red. Okay, so we're gonna see, but they are gonna be giving you their different ways of tackling one another. So I will set off with our known face, and that is Cornelius. Cornelius, what do we expect today?
Yes, I think I always go for the team that is closest to blue. So that is why I'm going for Paris Saint-Germain today. And not to try and give a jab. Somebody said he doesn't work alone. Unfortunately, today he's working alone while his team is in Liverpool. So that is a funny analogy to make. But yes, let's expect a very engaging game from Paris Saint-Germain. This is just like you mentioned earlier. Some few years ago, if you mentioned PSG in the face of the Champions League, they would be a laughing stock. But today, they are forced to reckon with the genius of Luis Enrique, and I think that isn't going to win anytime soon. So this is a team that is built on the idea of like let's play for each other. We don't have stars in the team. And the last interview that Osman Dembele did after their first leg just typifies what the team is is to the core. So he just mentioned it outright. Even though he won the Ballon d'Or, he was asked why he runs throughout the game. And his response was that if you don't run, you sit in the bench. This is just a directive from the coach. So what we can expect is we see a free flowing Paris Saint-Germain team as we've seen throughout the season. And they are going to be relentless, and they have the goal advantage to their right. And I think it's a done deal for them. My only worry is we not having Ashraf Hakimi on our ranks today. But regardless, whoever that fits in would give Bayern a run for their money. And I think Bayern should be wary because we are coming with some more fire.
So are you always going for the opposition? You said we today, and I was wondering, are you just for uh Chelsea to yesterday? Anyone that is not catching your fancy, you're always going for their jugular.
No, I wouldn't say so. What I like is that sense of team spirit from the Paris Saint-Germain team, and I think it's something that I cherish the most. As somebody who's a lover and a player of the game, I envy that kind of setup. So whilst my team is not there, I'm looking out for a team setup that would be the best model. And I think if you like football and if you follow football, PSG would be a team that you put your money on, not because of individual brilliance, but there's this idea of teamwork that makes it very distinct from all the other teams that you can find. Yeah, so I'm rooting for them because of that notion of team spirit. Nobody is bigger than the team, and if you want a team that typifies that idea, a player is not bigger than a club, then it is Paris Saint Germain. So I think let's we want the best team to win, and I think we have one in our ranks.
Tadiwa, what do you think? Are you there?
Hey, yes, I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So from an Arsenal point of view, I would say both teams look so dangerous. To be honest, but I'm a little bit neutral about any result. I know most people are saying Arsenal, we want to face this, you don't want to face this because of this, but I want to assure you that we are not afraid of any team. Either the team is going to win today is fine for us. But looking from what we saw from the first leg, I feel like both teams are not disciplined and expect such thing today. We cannot have a semi-final where we have 9 goals. That's not something we expect from something we say it's a semi-final. So for today, I think Bayern Munich is more advantage. They are stable, they are calm, they're at home, and they know that they're behind, so they feel like, okay, guys, there's not about today, right? Let's see the way we want. So I feel like PSG will be under pressure today. Remember, their way and they're trying to defend
Oh,
what they won
okay.
this
We
season.
we seem to be
So
having some glitches with your connection. So I'm going to come back to you while we try to fix that with you. Let's hear the Bayern fan, the red for red.
Yeah, yeah.
What is going to happen?
Thank you, Dr. James. To be honest, I just want to be sincere with my brother Cornelius, but um, I think we should take it very slow from here. Um, my blood is red, and then for Bayer is winning today, as my brother Tadiwa said. FC Bayern Munich is more than just a football club. It is a symbol of dominance, discipline, and football excellence in Europe. So everybody knows. So talking of players like Harry Kane, Jamal Musiala, and the France King Kong, who is Michael Olise, they are going to prove themselves right today, playing in their home. So I think this should be obvious, and Cornelius should accept the fact that they are losing today. That is all I have to say.
Cornelius, that challenge has been put at you. What do you think?
I just I marveled and surprised at the passion with which Jeffrey talked about Bayern Munich. What he just made acclamations in claims in relation to what they can do, but no tactical analysis of the trade they pose. He's mentioning names. That is the difference that I mentioned earlier. When you start mentioning individuals, then you miss the key point that I made earlier. The idea is the team core. So what if Olise, the King Kong he mentioned, doesn't have his day? What if Jamal Musiala doesn't have his day? What if the Hurricane he mentioned doesn't have his day? And we know that is a greater part of football. There are days in which players come in and they don't nothing works in their favor. But the big question is, when things don't work in your favor, what is the alternative? And that is where the PSG team becomes very strong. We have a strong core that anybody that comes from the bench adds up to the team. But if I pick Hurricane out, if I pick um Musiala out, or any of their starting 11, we don't have a like for like replacement. That is where it becomes a problem. So that is where my analysis boils down to the very core. Because if you take a Hurricane and you are bringing in a Jackson, that not to disparage the quality that Jackson has, but he can't live up to the bill of Hurricane. That is clear for everybody to see. So that is where I'm saying that the core aspect of we having a team here is that team spirit where nobody's bigger than the team. But if you take Hurricane out of the Bayern team, you don't have the same threat again. If you take a Diaz or Olise out, you don't have the same threat. So that is the difference. It boils down to the philosophies that both things come with. And I can see Jeff is furiously shaking his head, and I'm looking out to his response. But yes, that is the point I made.
Well, instead of focusing on Jeffrey, my focus is on Tadiwa. Tadiwa might be thinking, "Oh, I want a lesser enemy. An
Okay.
enemy I can really handle." But both of them seem to be so much fire presently for Arsenal. Arsenal is not going to relent. This is the chance of their lifetime. So, Tadiwa, who do you want to meet?
From my point of view, I think we are not afraid of any of those two teams, but I would say I would prefer to meet Bayern Munich, considering our performance against Bayern Munich from the last matches. But in the case that PSG win the game, that's fine. We are going to meet PSG. It's not a problem. But to answer your question to Fik, we are ready to meet Bayern Munich. I feel like they are a little bit disciplined for a final game against us. We are not afraid of anyone, to be honest, as Arsenal.
Okay.
Hmm.
On a final note, I wanted to call you Bayern. Jeffrey, Jeffrey, your final thought on
Yes.
this.
As I earlier
And make your
said,
prediction too. You make your prediction
yes,
too.
yes, I'm gonna make my prediction of when I'm done with my submissions. I think what Cornelius said, I disagree because when it comes to teamwork, everybody knows Bayern is just the best. But he was just trying to fish out some disadvantages that he has seen
Mhm.
in the team. So he was just talking about when we take the maximum striker that we all look up to, Hurricane out, we don't have any comparatively or any strong striker like him. So he was just comparing him to Jackson, and then he speaking from the Blues heart. Jackson was coming from there, and then he knows what Jackson can do. So at some point, I was like, no, 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 this guy doesn't know what he's actually talking about because looking at the potentials that Jackson has, I think you cannot compare Messi to any ordinary player. Even not to talk about Neymar. Neymar cannot be comparatively compared to Messi. Even when they were both playing Barcelona. So I mean, when you have a bench, it doesn't necessarily mean that that person is not going to perform. But you see, um, situations like this, magic can happen. I mean, the unforeseen can happen. So we are all looking down on these small players, but then these are where these players have to prove themselves right, and then show the world that yes, they can do it. And then for me personally, I believe in Jackson, and Cornelius himself, he also believes in Jackson. So this match is not about changes, and then this match is not about quality players, but it's about teamwork, as he said, and then it's about passion and how they are
Mhm.
going to invoke themselves into this match. This match, everybody knows that this match is really a tough one,
So
and it's
what's
going to
your
be tough.
prediction?
But
What's
my
your
prediction
prediction?
is today, looking at what happened the first league, I think there is no I can't say there are going to be more goals. They are going to close up and then play. They are going to open up well. They are going to open up and play. But I think 3-2 is uh, is the win, and then they are going to go
So
to extra time, and then I don't know what can happen.
okay, so your prediction is neutral,
3-2 against PSG.
Okay, yeah. So you have a neutral prediction. Anything can
Yeah,
happen. 3-2 against PAD. It goes to penalty. Then it becomes lottery. Anybody wins. Okay, so we'll see if that
of course.
happens. But thank you. Let's have Tadiwa. Then we'll come to uh um Cornelius.
Yeah, I would say my prediction, definitely both teams are going to score. That's an obvious case. I think I would agree with Jeffrey. 3-2 in favor of Bayern. That's what I'm expecting, and I'm sure this might happen.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. Then let's have our final thoughts, from the one and only supporter of nearly every every strong club.
Mhm. I think it would be ingenious on my part to just make my prediction without making a response to all that Jeffrey had blurted out earlier. I think he really makes my point clearer than he thinks, because his earlier submission centered on individual players and what they can do, and he even give them acronyms and like titles, the French King Kong, the Hurricane, and the what. And then when I laid out the point for him that it isn't individual brilliance that will win the game, then he now backtracked. So I think it is fair on his part to come down to my reasoning, but just not admitting makes it kind of funny on my part. But
Okay.
let's let sleeping dogs lie. For
Okay.
prediction's sake, I would go for 3-1 in favor of Paris Saint-Germain. Like Tadiwa said, both teams are kind of teams that will score, definitely. And the first leg actually give us an indication of how they set up. They are teams that believe in themselves, that no matter what happens, they'll score. So I foresee a 3-1 victory to PSG. I don't foresee extra time. So it's a straight up win for me.
Okay, so we'll see. We'll see what happens later today, and then I think we'll still come back and then discuss this, and then it will be a pleasure to have all of you again when we discuss this. So, but I think we've had a good time, and then by our time, the time is up. This is just a short program where we have our views, and I want to say thank you very much, guys, for being here. So if anyone is out there and you want to be a part of this, in our next show, we're gonna tell you how to uh, uh, do that. So thank you, and then we'll see you after the match.
Special.